Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue of Southeast Asia TV. Tonight we'll be discussing on the topic of finance, on the stock exchange, banking, a bit about the prospect for new sources of growth through the marketplace. Foreign direct investment is something that Cambodia know a lot already. You see many factories coming to Cambodia. These are the physical investment. But the emerging trend in Cambodia this year will be the stock exchange, which will start to be operational in the next couple of months. And tonight I have the pleasure to have a very good friend, a long-time friend, Dr. Ghanty, who is a former professor at University of Michigan, and he's been back in the country for quite a long time. And on that note, I just want to invite him to come and share with us a bit about the prospect of the development of the stock exchange. Professor Ghanty, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yes. Well, you know, I like to call you Bong Ghanty, okay? We cut out the formality. Bong, before we go on the substantive debate, perhaps I'd like to give you a few minutes to give you a chance to introduce yourself a bit to the audience.
It's a pleasure to do that. My name is Sam Ghanty. I'm the former professor at the University of Wisconsin, not Michigan.
Oh, Wisconsin,
yes,
sorry.
Yes, where I taught finance, investment and banking for almost 21 years. And in 1995, I decided to return home to give my contribution to the country, and it's been a pleasure to be back home, and this is what I have done. I worked for ADB to help to create the Center for Banking Education from 1995 to 1996, and then I helped the World Bank to create the Economic and Finance Institute to create a training center for the government staff and as well as
the Ministry of Finance.
Yes, at the Ministry of Finance. Yes, and then at the same time I helped with the push toward the accounting field.
Yes,
and I serve as advisor for the National Accounting Council from year 2003 to until present, and I also serve as a member of the board director at the Security Exchange Commission of Cambodia.
Yes. And currently you are teaching also at the Finance Institute of Cambodia, is that correct?
Yes. In year 2010, I was approached by Son Sokna.
Yes.
He was very excited about the creation of a training institute to contribute to the understanding of the stock exchange of Cambodia, and I was so thrilled and joined as a program manager to help to set up a training that is more adaptable to produce public information as well as future professionals in the field. So,
well, I have the pleasure to lecture one course also with the FIC last year, more on the commercial law, commercial arbitration. So I think it's quite interesting. Before we go on the stock exchange, maybe you can set the context a bit, the background, where is it, where it's coming from, why, and then later on we'll see how we can explain better the value of having the stock exchange.
The concept of the stock exchange has been on the mind of the government for many years. It started as long as from 1996, 97.
Is that right?
Yes,
that long?
Just a draft. But at that time, the draft kept on changing, and the people in charge has been changed from one person to another, and finally, after year 2005, it seemed to really find a home with the Ministry of Economy and Finance, where they pushed the draft law, and the law was passed in year 2008, and the creation of many agencies to do that. The two main creations are the Security Exchange Commission of Cambodia, the regulator, and also the Stock Exchange of Cambodia, which is a company in charge of conducting the operation of the secondary market. Yeah.
It's a joint initiative of public-private sector. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is. The government whole it is we call a corporation, because it is perceived as a business that perform the center for people that want to buy and sell shares.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is in the joint venture between the government of Cambodia, which own 45%, and also the Korean Stock Exchange, 45%. So 55 from the government, 45 from the Korean Stock Exchange.
So where are they now? I think the regulatory aspect is all settled now. I think they're operating. They start issuing license already for underwriter, for broker firm, advisory firm. Is that right?
Yes.
But where are we on the actual stock exchange itself?
Now, most of the regulation needed to conduct the stock exchange has been already in place.
Yes.
But we need to produce more. But I think the core has been there in terms of law, in terms of regulations and so on is there.
Yes.
At the same time, also the creation of the center for trading already there.
Yes.
But the thing is, we need to have to at least to invite players.
Yes.
So it has been difficult in Cambodia because this is the first concept there. People have not well understood and so on. So the government took initiative.
Yes.
Why not started with the state enterprise, state-owned enterprise?
Yes. It's like the Port Authority, for example.
Yes.
The water, the electricity, for example.
And Telecom Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Now, it seemed to me the first one, which is the Phnom Penh Water Authority of Cambodia, has been making tremendous progress.
Yes.
So we are thinking very seriously of getting the IPO moving.
Yes.
IPO means initial public offering of the shares.
Yes.
On the primary market, moving, I think, in March.
I see.
Once people start holding the IPO, then people need to trade. This is where the stock exchange begin operation.
Yes.
So I'm thinking.
Please demystify a bit about primary and secondary market. Yes.
Now, for the stock exchange to be in place, we need to start in two steps. The primary market, where the company start to work closely with what we call in other countries they call investment bankers. In Cambodia we call security company, not to be confused with the banking institution.
You mean the underwriter?
Yes, the underwriter.
Yes.
Yeah. So the company need to work closely with a well-known underwriter.
Yes.
So they have to put all the process in place. The accounting, very important for information. The corporate governance. And the whole structures on how the company operate. And then they work closely with creating a prospectus, which is a full information about the companies, the board directors, the business plan, and everything must be in place. And from there, the underwriters and the company will start, they call the roadshow, where they will offer information to the public and invite the public to subscribe to the shares.
That's where the secondary market is.
The primary market ends, and once you and I hold shares, we need to buy some more or sell some. This is where the secondary markets come in.
So at this point in time, we're still in the early phase of the primary market preparation.
Yes, it is. It is, and so the main thing right now you will see for the next 2 months will be the roadshow, the invitation for subscription. And so you have to open an account with a we call security companies. To start, and then they do some price offering. They set up a range of price, and then the determination of price, and then finally the IPO will be moving, toward the end of the process.
So in other words, the stock exchange in this case, in the case of Cambodia, will give an opportunity to have the normal people like you and I access to buy some stock. In company we believe are worthy to buy the stock, right? How about foreign company who would like to list? Is that possible?
Well, for the time
say
being,
Coca-Cola,
yes,
one
yes,
who's here already.
yes,
Can they list?
Yes. For the time being, we are thinking only of the domestic companies listing into the stock exchange.
Yes.
The before going to the foreign listing, let me add some more.
Yes.
Okay? Now, Cambodia has been built the financial system based on family-owned companies.
I concur 1,000%.
They hold everything in Cambodia.
Yes.
Now, there is a process in which the family-owned company would like to expand. This is where they feel the capital requirement may not be sufficient.
Yes.
The corporate governance need to be strengthened and so on to become well known. You know, even for the sake of themselves.
Yes. Yes.
So therefore, the stock exchange now become almost a requirement for them to be known internationally.
Yes. Yes.
Now, because they are family companies, you and I will not have a chance to own them.
Yes,
if you like company A, B, and C.
Yes. Number one, we wouldn't know who they are.
Yeah, you would know, and number two, they don't let you in.
Yes.
Now, once they are in the process of issuing stocks, now integrating themselves into the capital market, now the share will become available for every investor in Cambodia and foreign.
Well, the issue of Cambodian company, you know, no matter how big they are, they could own a lot of assets in this country, they could have millions of dollars, but the management is still a family style. The father, the father-in-law, the niece, the daughter, everybody have big title, vice president, CEO, but it's still a family business. So to me, how do you get them to change the paradigm? What does it take to get them to be ready for an IPO, for example?
Well, the most important thing is it's up to the owner to decide whether they really want to become more an international companies or not. You know, it takes a lot of will. It takes a lot of decision to do that.
They may have to give up their decision, their management control.
Yes, because the stock exchange requires that there must be a separation between ownership and management. So they must hire competent professional managers to operate.
Which up to now, it's more blurred.
It is.
Shareholder, director, board chairman.
Yes. Imagine the gain that they may have by doing this. Okay, they may the ability to sell shares enable them to capture more new capital into their companies. They don't have to give up the whole control. You know, and they may keep, let's say, 60%. And by doing that, and another thing is, it's much easier for them to be able to use the share to divide among the family members, including
so it's sort of cashing out a bit.
Absolutely, you know, and also they can become well known internationally, and be able to raise unlimited amount. I like to use unlimited amount of capital for future growth. So this is important decision, you know.
But they will have to go through a very rigorous process of due diligence, or getting their book in order, paying tax, getting their corporate structure, all that things need to be taken place.
You can see the whole difficulty in this process. It takes time to do that. Accounting alone may take maybe up months and years, maybe a year or so, maybe more.
To put a system in place.
Because the stock exchange requires that the use of international financial reporting system, you know.
Which in Cambodia we have. Our accountant, our auditor have the international.
We do have now, standard. But however, not all companies, are using the IFRS, the International Financial Reporting System, and that's what the government, you know, wants them to do, to start seriously doing this.
Will the stock exchange impose, you know, to the company that they have to use accounting system according to?
Yes, this is a requirement. Requirement to have the international accounting system that Cambodia has adopted. You know, to do that. The main idea is to provide and information that is required by not only domestic and also international investor. And investor would like to use the same system to compare one country to another.
Exactly. Apple and Apple.
Very important to do that. And besides, it's good for them to have a good financial control for themselves.
I can cite one concrete example where, you know, this stock exchange can be so helpful for the development of this country in terms of helping expand. We may have source of growth. If I take, for example, the rice sector, where somebody Prime Minister that you have pushed that 2015 we have 1 million ton, and I keep stressing every show that I can the importance of achieving that target. But so many things is relying on the ability of the Cambodian trader, miller, producer, planter to have access to money. And with the stock exchange, they could actually, like you said, attract unlimited amount of capital to expand their factory, to expand their production facility, to expand their machinery and everything, right?
Yes, I agree with you, and it provides the right potential ability to raise capital if you can show that you are going to be a successful company. That's all international investor or domestic investor would like to hear from you, you know, and make sure you have enough documents to support you know.
I think the challenge, you know, I'm a practicing lawyer, and my challenge in dealing with Cambodian businessmen is all about documentation. There's a blurry sort of like sense that, look, I'm a chairman, I can do anything. I'm a CEO, I can do anything. But I say it's not right. It's not right. You may think you can do, but according to, if you are a legal entity, it's two separate things. You are an individual, you happen to be the chairman, but there are certain limit of your power. You may be CEO, but there are certain limit also. You know, so I see the potential is there, but we have to work hard on that.
There are two things I would like to stress. The one thing is Cambodia as a country since the independence of 1953 have been depending in terms of source of finance from the banking system. And the commercial bank has played a tremendous role, you know, in providing finance. But it comes to a point that we know that there is limitation. Because commercial banks get their money from the depositors. Depositors are mainly short-term and intermediate term. They cannot provide unlimited long-term finance at all. So therefore, you can see the government are on the right track to put a system in which good companies are able to raise money on the long-term basis. Where can you get money in which you don't have the maturity, time maturity to pay your loans or your debt? And when you make money, you pay, and as in the form of dividend. When you don't make money, you say sorry, we don't have enough money to pay. That's where the stock provide this wonderful ability to do that.
So foreigner who live in Singapore can buy our stock, right?
I think so. It is open, you know. But you raise one important question: can the foreign company list in Cambodia? For the time being, you know, the regulations seem to concentrate on the domestic companies first. But eventually, it is a possibility open that the joint agreement between, you know, stock exchange in different countries, where we call the joint listing. Cambodia can list on the Korean stock exchange someday, and the other way around.
I noticed some trend happening in Cambodia, in the sense that now I see more foreign company who are inquiring about the possibility of acquiring or buying, you know, local company. You know, in the prospect that when they buy share into the company, they inject their value system, their management system, their structure. They become part of the Cambodian company. But then I think it's also through this process, you skip the learning curve as well, right? If they come in a year's time, they have behind them 20-year experience or track record in Singapore and Malaysia, they could also list. Is it? Could it be the case?
Yes, that is possibility that we call merger and acquisition of companies. It's possibility. One way to do is to introduce yourself through the ownership of shares slowly, and then from there you can bring in a lot of know-how and technology to develop and strengthen that company.
Does it have to be majority share?
Well, it doesn't have to, they don't have to be that, but it is possible that they can own enough to be able to have a say into how they can improve, management and technology of the companies.
So, time horizon, are we talking about short and medium term? Short term in the sense we start first with the state-owned enterprise, the one that already have the strength, the market, access already, and then we build the second wave, which is the domestic industry to get them prepared, take 2 or 3 years, and then the third phase will be more getting the outside company to come.
I am looking for example, the port of Siphana, autonomous port of Siphana to join in, eventually. And another big thing is Telecom Cambodia, which is many foreign companies would like to take a look on this, unbelievable way to bring in new technology, new capital to expand, about that. But it takes a time because we have been living in a system in which the culture of modern corporation has not been there, and the information system is not there. When you are on the stock exchange, you have to provide information.
Transparency.
Transparency.
All
anything on your website.
Disclosure and
Absolutely.
disclosure.
On your website, on the website of the security broker dealer, and at the same time on the website of the Security Exchange Commission of Cambodia. So you have to provide, full information. The question now is going back to the family-owned company. Are you willing? Do you have the gut, or do you have the desire to do that or not?
30 minutes is a very short time, and we're running out of time already. I'd like to give you your last word. What's the message you want the public to remember from our short discussion?
A former professor of finance, when I returned to Cambodia, at that time, I thought my skill was not not be able to use it, in my own country here. But I was so amazed, I was so excited. I've been excited to see the new change, the new financial system coming in, and that financial system enable, I truly believe, to be more transparent and to help the government to raise more taxes because transparent accounting system. And to help people like you and I to be able to participate in the development of the country, and a system based on a more sustainable long-term financing to do a lot of development projects, including the agricultural development projects. And I also view that in the next few years we have to think of what we call a parallel market in which the SME are able to join in. We know they are more risky, but we will have a system in which we provide full information to investors that this is risky, but the return is also high. So those who want to take more risks are there. I am very excited about to see that new development, and
Professor, you're really talking as a financier.
Thank you.
Risk, rate, return, that sort of thing. But anyway, on behalf of the audience and the studio, well, let me just say thank you for on a very short notice to come, and I intend to invite you again. As we near this roadshow, the launch of the first IPO in Cambodia, to have a more substantive discussion on that particular IPO and a few other, to give a better sense to the audience to say how does it really work, and hopefully through our dialogue we could drum up more awareness about that. And that's how I like to leave this session with an open invitation for you to come over the year to start explaining and sharing this thing. So thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you very much. I would like you and the audience to know that it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. And I don't mind at all to come back anytime you need me.
You will be abused, don't worry.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, what we heard in the last 30 minutes was a glimpse on the stock exchange. As you can see, it's a lot of acronyms, a lot of word that most people who are not in the trade would not understand. It's all right. Consider this is a preliminary 101 course on stock listing. But I seriously look forward to have more discussion on this one. I intend also to invite the Director General of the Phnom Penh Water Supply Authority. The Phnom Penh Water Supply Authority will be the first IPO will be launched. So we will have a perspective from a company itself, you know, as how they go about preparing for the stock exchange. Today we have a more theoretical view, a more macroeconomic view on the potential of unleashing more access to capital for the development of the country. So I look forward to have a much more discussion throughout the year, because the role is how do we build more awareness from the public, because if the stock exchange to be successful, we're going to need more people who understand, more people, the more people understand, the more they're willing to commit their investment, and the more they invest, they can make the stock exchange a success. But the second message I really want to stress out of this discussion, which I heard Professor Ghanty stress several times, is the notion of paradigm shift in the mind of corporate governance, of particularly the component company, from a father-in-law, a mother, son-in-law, nephew running a company as a family business, toward a more corporate governance where there's a clear distinction between shareholder, you know, I own the share, and then a professional manager, a professional CEO who's running the company. And this, to me, is a big challenge that component company have to start thinking, because it will take 3 years before you qualify to be to have your IPO in the stock exchange. So 3 years to prepare, but you better start now. So on that note, I thank you all for watching the show, and catch you up next week. Good night.